Audio Jungle.
Hello, my flock. The Badraven here. We're going to do a great review today. This is a requested review from the Super Bacon guys, the guys that wanted this review done, and I'm going to give it to them. And it is for Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight. It's about a chase through the ages. It's about a race through time. The war between good and evil. The final battle between man and demon. Get ready for your Dead Time story. It's going to have suspense, special effects, sex, violence is something to sink your teeth into. Frights, camera, action. That's my best script humor. I give that the Super Bacon guys a little taste of the Crypt Keeper and my version of the Crypt Keeper. This show was on HBO from I think it was 1989 to 1996. They had 7 seasons, and I remember my sister Carolyn and her husband Lloyd, which I talk about frequently on my channel, having HBO back in the day, and me not, where I'm located. They were located in Barville at the time, and they had HBO, and I was so envious of them because Tales from the Crypt was on there, and I loved horror shows. And this show was set like a 30-minute show every once a week, I think it was. And sometimes I would sneak down there and watch a few shows on it because they was able to have HBO and it wasn't available in my area. I think we had the movie channel or something at the time. So I missed out on a lot of the shows. I'm gonna have to go back and buy the seasons because I really liked a lot of the episodes from it. But let's get into Demon Knight here. I remember watching this at the theater because I like the Tales of the Crypt TV show, so the movies was a bona fide thing to get me to go watch this movie. This movie came out in 1995, and it was directed by Ernest R. Dickerson. Don't know what he's ever done before. And it stars, the cast are John Kazar. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. He was at when we and Andrew went to Scarefest 9 in Lexington. He was there. I didn't have enough money to get his stuff, but they had his autograph. I would like to got his voice on tape saying something about the Badraven. Would have been cool, but he plays the Crypt Keeper's voice. It's actually a puppet type guy in the actual movie or the show. Billy Zane plays the Collector, which is AKA the Devil, I would assume, or the Devil's main henchman, I guess. William Sadler plays Breaker, or Breaker, I can pronounce that. Jada Pinkett Smith was in this. I can remember back in the day, she wasn't that big a star back in the day. She had just made a few movies at that time before she married Mr. Will Smith. She played Geraldine. We have Brenda Baca, or Back, as Cordelia. CCH Pounder as Irene. Dick Miller as Uncle Willie. And Thomas Hayden Church was in this. Way before anything I'd ever seen him in. So he played Roach. That's a good name for a character. And let's see, the other guy, Charles Fleischer, was Wally Enfield. And he was from Roger Rabbit. He did the voice of Roger Rabbit. So, Color Me Purple here, I didn't know he was in this one at all. Shows you how long back this movie came out and how much I'd forgotten about it. I do not have this on video. I would like to get the Blu-ray Collector's Edition from the Scream Factory, if it's still available. Probably not. I would like to get my hands on that. I would like to have a Blu-ray copy of this. Because when I watched it, the Super Bacon guys suggested it. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and they really enjoyed it. So I went back to watch it again because it's been a while to refresh my memory. But I just remembered how good it was. I kind of liked the way that it was all set up. I like movies where a lot of people get stuck in a house or Any kind of place, that's like where I like the thing is where they got stuck in that building there, and you got Alien where they were on the spaceship stuck. I like that where they're stuck in a some type of building where they have to face whatever's outside. I think that's a really cool way to do a scary movie. It gets me into it every time. So when they got stuck in that, it was like a hotel type uh, building, I was all in, and I was just remembering all the good stuff that I could. I mean, that came about the show, about the movie. I like the Crypt Keeper's introductions, like he does, and how they come up in his mansion and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was cool. I liked his little movie that he was filming at the beginning, before this actually starts. And the bathtub scene, if you know what I mean, Super Bacon guys, I love that bathtub scene. Uh, Worth the price of admission for this guy. This is a family channel. I won't go into what was in the bathtub, but say me like you a lot. All right, but anyway, I love that part of the movie, and then you see the Crypt Keeper does his great favorite stuff, and then he introduces to the movie. And what was cool about it, starts out with a chase scene at the very beginning. A lot of action there. You're trying to figure out what's going on with the characters. Why is the collector, Billy Zane character, chasing after the William Sadler's character? And you find out. I don't want to give a lot of stuff away in the movie, but it's good versus evil. Billy Zane being evil, and William Sadler being good. But they all arrive at this hotel, slummy hotel room at night, and you have William Sadler's character having to keep a key away from this evil Billy Zane, and it's all about how the demons with Billy Zane are trying to get this key back to basically end the world as we know it, plunge it into darkness. Your basic evil plot. William Sadler has the key on him, the last of 7 keys, and that's why he's been chased through time and been able to live through all different types of events to culminate in this final battle. It's really neat the way they did the special effects for this. For the time of 1995, I think they did some really gruesome kills. I liked, and also the Uncle Billy or Uncle Willie scene where he gets changed into Dick Miller's character, Uncle Willie. He gets kind of tempted. I like the way Billy Zane kind of went over the top with his acting to play this evil character, the collector, because he got to tempt every character with something. And Uncle Willie was a thing I would like to be tempted with, which was a bar with a lot of women in it, to say the least. And me like that part too. That was a really good shot scene. I liked the way the inventive ways of the kills. I like the way that they have to shoot the demons in the eyes to kill them. I like the little boy that's in it. I don't have his name here, but he was sitting reading a Tales from the Crypt comic. In one part of it, it reminded me of the Creep Show boy, where he was reading the comics. I thought that was a really cool touch. I thought that was really well done. They did a lot of neat stuff. The demons were really practical effect demons. I like the way they walked. The way, I don't know what they had them in, what kind of apparatus that made them stand up that high, but it looked like they had hoofs or something. I like the way they they came to be born by the collector's blood. I just liked all the explosions. I liked the blood, the gore. I liked the story, the basic story behind it all. The way that they integrated the crucifixion onto present day. I think it had a neat storyline for a scary horror from him. That really was kind of a neat way to touch upon it. I'm glad it didn't do any kind of sacrilegious type stuff with it. That was the one problem I was afraid of when I watched it at the movie, that they might make fun of all that stuff because it's a horror film. They make fun of like about everything. But I like the way they kept that as as dignified as they could. I like that. I thought that was well done in this movie. I think all the performances were done good. Thomas Hayden Church, basically the bad guy, besides the collector, he did a good performance. Dick Miller, I've seen him in Gremlins, you know, in that one, but I can't remember. He's a character actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. Does a very good job. Even the guy that does the voice of Roger Rabbit, I liked his character. Way he's in love with the girl that Thomas Hayden Church's Roach character likes, and I think they gave it a little more depth of story. That I know it's a horror film, you're going to not get a lot of depth of story, but I think the premise of all of that, using the blood of Christ in the key, was really well done, really well thought out. I really enjoyed this movie, watching it again. I'm glad Super Bacon guys suggested it to me. Makes me want to put it in my collection, and I will be putting it in my collection after this. So thanks to you guys, I found a movie that I had not seen in a long time and really enjoyed, and I'm glad to be able to put it in my collection. I just want to kind of wrap this all up and tell everybody to leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this movie. Do you remember that's coming out back in the day? Do you remember the Tales from the Crypt show? I remember it fondly. It was a very good show, and I didn't get to see it every week that I wanted to see it. Just tell me your thoughts and just bring back memories of those days. Tell me if you're going to watch it because of this review. I would really like any kind of comments, and remember that we got a Patreon account. Please try to become Elite Bad Birds member. That's $1 a day, and you become Elite Bad Birds, and I'll put your name at the end of my videos. I'll say your name and tell everyone you are a member of this club. I would really appreciate it. If you can't, I understand. But we also like to say thank you for watching. Remember that the Badraven is your friend, and we appreciate everything you do for the channel, and we just want you to come back for more reviews. So we're going to let you go, and we'll talk to you later, and goodbye.